All right, what's going on, guys? So we just did our unhaul of I don't even know how many books, and I'm still going through and sorting all my fiction books. But yesterday, after doing that last vlog, I was like, you know what? I'll go through now and I'll kind of attempt to sort the fiction books, but not really, or non-fiction books. I mean, not the fiction books. These are the fiction books here. Non-fiction is on this table, and they're in no real particular order. I still had books there, so I didn't really have any space, and I didn't want to fill this up even further. So I just started putting them on the table, and I did start with like A, B, C, but then there's just too many letters, and these books are so big, and I just kind of just started placing things in just like any old area, and so I put those there. I did get a little bit more organizing done, and so now we have A, B, C, D, and what did I get through? I went through up through G. So, or no, wait, no, I have a few here on the bottom. I went through H actually. So we got up through H, sorted. Now, something I am thinking about, and I thought about doing this for a while, but I never did it in the past. So, when I first started getting bookshelves, okay, like I said, guys, former comic book fan. Now, all my comic books were in like long boxes like this. That's what comic book dudes put all their comics in. When I was getting bookshelves, it was mainly for the graphic novels. I never really anticipated when I was younger becoming like a book guy, and I never really anticipated like collecting Blu-rays and stuff. I only ever bought like two DVDs in my life, and that was the It miniseries and the Nightmare on Elm Street bare bones DVDs. That I got those way back, way back, and both of them were just like random like impulse buys, and I was like, sure, I'll get these, but I never really knew like, you know, back then before I became a movie guy, I never really knew like movie collecting was like a thing. I didn't really know much about Blu-rays or DVDs, or that I would have any desire to collect them. I didn't know just how much was out there if it really wasn't on Netflix, like or TV. Like I really didn't see it back then, you know. And so, you know, anyways, when I got these shelves, you know, I never thought about getting extra shelves because you could see like how big graphic novels are, okay? And omnibuses especially. I got rid of like 99.9999999% of my comic book collection, but like, you know, a lot of them would be, well, here, I'll get closer for you guys, like big chunky like 500-page things here, like this Question omnibus, or you know, the big hack slash omnibuses, or you know, these things here, the Earthworm Jim and Bigfoot Bills. Like a lot of them be huge like this. Now some are, you know, smaller, like just a normal like trade paperback, but then you get like these huge chunky things. And you know, this is like the perfect shelf space, even though, you know, there is a big gap here, but like, you know, this shelf was like perfect because it would fit everything. And then, you know, I'd get like one of these shelves, and you know, pretty much it would fit everything just fine. But you know, those are big chunky things. Books do vary in size, especially like these here, like these bit like the big like Paul McCartney lyrics book, but they all vary in size. Now, Blu-rays and DVDs pretty much are all the same size. The Blu-rays a little smaller of a case than a DVD, barely different. So there's all this like extra space, and I never thought about grabbing more shelves. Like it barely like crossed my mind like once, and I never did it. And now I'm just like, you know what? I should do that. So I am going to take the shelf to Home Depot, and I'm gonna see if I could find any shelves that are like this size, or if they could just cut me a piece of wood that's that size. I don't know how many more shelves would fit on here. I mean, I don't know. If I had to guess, I mean, like if I lowered it to like here, sorry, if I lowered it to like here, you know, and then I brought this one down, I feel like I could fit like at least like two more shelves here, maybe. Or am I crazy? Let me go back a bit. Am I crazy, or can I fit like two more shelves there? I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think, could I fit like one more here? It all just depends on how I can move things around, but I want to say like, okay, maybe I would get like four more of these shelves and just try to put like two more on this one and two more on that one, and then I could fit like even more of the Blu-rays here, and then I could move them over. And that's kind of like one of my goals today, is to see what I could do with the shelving, because like I'm all out of space. Like I showed you guys, I've got just that little space left right there, and you know, all this fiction stuff here has to be put away, and all my nonfiction right here has to be put away. And still, I did not even get to touch the Alfred Hitchcock stuff or the rest of the graphic novels. Now, you guys may notice the Alfred Hitchcock mystery magazines are gone. I still have the Alfred Hitchcock Presents books, and then you can see, like, I think there's just like 4 like Rod Serling Twilight Zone stories in here. I've never read any of those, but maybe. How many of those do I have? Maybe like 5, actually. 4 or 5 of those. Rod Serling's. The rest in here is Alfred Hitchcock stuff. Now those, I decided I am going to sell them. I don't know how many I have. I'm not going to go through all these. I just put them in the tote bags just to clear up a little space so I can show you guys the rest of what I am unhauling. Now, these things are like a dime a dozen. Literally, I won a lot of like 20 of them for like $1 plus like maybe like $8 shipping one time on eBay. Like, they are dirt cheap. You could find these anywhere. Now, the reason I'm getting rid of these, you know, I had a nice little Hitchcock collection, and I mean, you guys saw I'm keeping a lot of them, but the actual like paperback. So the Alfred Hitchcock Presents paperbacks, those are stories that were like published elsewhere. They are from all the top like mystery, suspense kind of writers. Anybody that writes detective, noir, suspense, mystery, anything like that. Like Robert Bloch, Cornell Woolrich, Lawrence Bloch, just really just anybody that's anybody. They're all in there. Like, if I could grab like any of these and open it up, and you know, you'll find like a bunch of popular authors and stuff you recognize. If I could even find the list of stories, there we go. Like, see, John D. McDonald's in here, and Alan Dean Foster, and really anybody like you would recognize. Like, they're all like in here in like any given paperback, which all have sick covers. I love that cover, by the way. Like, let's see here. Let me find you some more. Like, let's see. I'm trying to see, who do I recognize from in this one? Go figure. I might grab the only one where I don't recognize anybody, but well, some of these names I do recognize, but I've never read. And like Hal Ellison's in here, Henry Slessor, a couple names that I recognize but haven't read. But for the most part, if you haven't read the authors that are in here, you'll recognize them. Okay. Now, when it comes to these, there are a few of those authors in here. I'm not going to pretend like none of them are in these, but for the most part, you open up any of these, and they are all random people. They might have, like in this issue, it has like a designated like mystery classic by Malcolm Jameson. I haven't heard of that name, but most of these are like people that are like aspiring authors. Anyone could submit to this. I was even looking at the website the other day. It's like still open. It's and you could submit. And I want to say, I could be wrong. I think I saw that they pay like $1,500 for a story or something, and it has to be like a certain length. But you know, most of these, I'm not saying they're all just going to be garbage, but I'm just like, I don't know. I would rather just like, I don't know. Like, if I came over here and like, I'm just opening up random ones. Like, let's see here. Like, if I opened up one of these and let's see, Ed Lacey's in here. I don't like August Derleth, but he's in here. At least I know the name. James Hunt. Like, I would rather like some of these names that like I'm familiar with, I've heard of. A lot of these like have authors that I really like are in here. Like Ray Bradbury's in these. Like, I would rather, you know, open these up and like, there's just something that I might get out of it. I'm not saying the other ones there's nothing, that they're all garbage, but I think you guys might get the point. Like, here's Donald E. Westlake's in here, William Wood's in here. Who else is in this one that I might be like a little familiar with? And this one, not too many, but you know, we do have a Donald E. Westlake one in this collection. So I just feel like I would get more out of those ones rather than these ones that are just filled with just any old author. I don't know. I got to clear up space, and I don't know if I ever see myself opening up any of the mystery magazines. So, with that being said, that's the beginning of this sale pile. I did find a few more fiction books I want to sell, and then these here are nonfiction. I guess we'll go through the fiction since it's shorter. These are all Valancourt books. Valancourt books, I do like them. They are a cool publisher. They do bring a lot of old horror books back into print, but I mean, I went on my horror book rant in the last vlog, and 99% of them are unreadable. Now these ones, not Valancourt, just horror novels in general, are unreadable. But these ones, I have not read. I just kind of. I just had to make decisions. What am I keep? What am I getting rid of? I just had to be quick. Like, do I really see myself reading this? No. This one's For Fear of Little Men by John Blackburn. Kind of a strange title. But yeah, here's the back of it for anyone that wants to know what it's about. I don't know. I just, guys, I mean, I was in my phase with horror novels and buying every single release from Valancourt, and I would just buy and just blind buy it. I'd be like, oh, well, I just want to support them, and they're bringing all this stuff back into print, which is cool, but now I'm just at the point where I'm just like, well, I'm probably never going to read these, but I did keep some Valancourt, and others I'm just like, yeah, probably not. This one's Child Grave by Ken Greenhall. This is a pretty popular horror book. I think it was in paperbacks from hell. This is called Doctors Wear Scarlet by Simon Raven. I don't know. I just, anything they put up, I was just like, all right, I'll buy this. This one's The Cormorant by Stephen Gregory. And here's the back of the book. So that's just a little of the fiction. I got rid of most of the fiction I didn't want in the last one. This is all nonfiction stuff. So we're starting off with 2 body language books by Joe Navarro. Now, I did say in the last video, and I don't want to seem like a hypocrite, you retain stuff better if you read it in a book versus online, but I just feel when it comes to body language, this was something I had a little phase with, and I was kind of studying when I just randomly started studying police interrogation breakdown videos because I thought they were interesting, and then they would talk about body language, and I was very fascinated, and then I watched some body language videos, and then I bought these books because they're very popular, but I just feel body language is something better that when you study it in a video. Now, this second book, the bigger one, does have a few illustrations, but at the same time, I'm just I'd rather just see it in action. It's just hard to read about because sometimes, in this one, the dictionary of body language, I'll read it and I'll be trying to envision it, and I'm just wait, is this the right movement? Am I picturing it right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a doofus, but those ones could go. Then we've got this Kobe Bryant book here, which is just kind of a big not an art book, but one, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, I just don't need this thing really. It's I don't know, I like Kobe and all, but I'm a former basketball fan, but I just really do not need this book. And yeah, I mean, if it was an actual biography or something, I would, but I just feel it's just one of those things where it's it's just gonna highlight every popular moment and just have a little bland article about it. This is Masters of Makeup Effects. This one I was 50-50 on keeping, but I don't know, it was just one of those things where it's some things have to go, and yeah, the makeup effects are interesting, but I just feel with a lot of these books, it's yeah, the images are cool, but a lot of the text is just going to be generic, kind of vague or boring or not really in-depth because they only have a paragraph to accompany each thing. So I was yeah, I guess I could just do without this one. Have to clear up space, and also I'm trying not to keep anything that I legit won't revisit. So this is The Art of Noir. I don't know, just it's cool to have all the posters and everything, but I just really do not need this book. Now, I do like noir. I've had my various phases with noir, but yeah, I just really don't need this book. I just I don't really flip through art books often. I mean, I am keeping a few art books. Over here we've got the art of horror movies and art of B horror and stuff. I'm keeping those. I'm interested in those, but anything that's really an art book I could just get rid of. Now, this is the Handbook of Magic Spells and Potions, and I know this is a book for that a 15-year-old girl would own, and not a grown man like me, but This really, I bought this because I think I was writing a book at the time that involved like magic, and I was like, oh, it'd be handy like if I had like real magic spells, and then like you look through like real magic spells and you just kind of cringe, and yeah, I don't know, I just like cringed looking through this, and I think I've only looked at this like once or twice. I've never really read it. I've just like thumbed through it, and yeah, it's just something that I don't really need. I don't see myself ever reading this or using it. Uh, yeah, so I was just like, I could just get rid of this. And plus, magic in a story is better anyways when you don't explain it and show the exact spell and you just let the events unfold. I think that's a lot better. Really, same thing, same theme here with as the Art of Noir. This is Dark City, the lost world of film noir, and yeah, I got this in a noir phase, and I just didn't really need it. I just feel it's going to be a bunch of like vague, like not even just vague, but I mean just like boring. Probably is a better way to put it. Like boring, like film critic. Like those dumb film critics that do like the commentary tracks on old movies where the filmmakers are all dead. Everyone associated with the movie's dead. Like the movie came out in like 1950, but they want to do a commentary track, and so they just get some random like, oh, they're a film critic, let's have them do it, and it just sucks because they didn't make it and they just have nothing interesting to add. So I feel like that's what that's gonna be like. This one is Spike Lee's Gotta Have It. I have not read this book. Now this was recommended to me by somebody that was like, if you really want to learn about filmmaking, like this is like a good one to read. And so I got it, and this is I guess about the making of She's Gotta Have It, which I did end up streaming. I don't know if it was like early this year, late last year, I forget exactly when, but I did stream She's Gotta Have It, and I did not really like it at all. I was pretty bored by it, and so whenever I just look at this book on my bookshelf and I'm like, yeah, it might teach me about filmmaking, but like, do I really want to like learn about like a boring movie? Like, it's not like it's like Reservoir Dogs that's like a great like debut movie, and then it's like imagine if there was like a Reservoir Dogs like making of book, like that would be pretty fascinating. But this book, like I just flipped through it and I'm just like, I don't think I could do it. Like I just don't like the movie. So but I did buy this before I saw the movie because it was recommended to me, and this was easier to find than the movie, and then eventually I was able to stream the movie, and yeah. This is Making a Psychopath. Now, I forgot I had even read this thing. I had to flip through it to like make sure, and I remembered there was like no real insight, and it was just kind of boring. Or not even just boring, but just like a little... Okay, yeah, it was boring, but like bland, but like some of the stories themselves were interesting, but then I really did not feel like it was like, because it says like my journey into 7 dangerous minds. I thought it was really going to get into their minds, but it just did not, and it just fell flat for me. Maybe it was just my expectations. This is a chronology of film. Now, I don't know, like I am like, okay, early film stuff, like late 1800s, early 1900s, like the movies themselves are boring. I am like fascinated though with the like inventions themselves, and just how everything came to be and how they developed different film techniques, and all that stuff is like just wildly fascinating to me, and how we got from like there to here. Like I'm fascinated by that. But again, it's just like, do I want to hear like random like film fan 47 like talk about this? Or like there are just so many documentaries about it that also include interviews from people that were there. I know this is going to sound boring, but there was like a 13-part like silent film documentary on YouTube that I've watched before, and it was made in like the 80s, and it's like the very like last of those people. Maybe it was like late 70s or early 80s. It's like the very last of like whoever was there, whoever got to be in those films or make them, or knew the people that did make them, or knew the people that were in them. Like that documentary is interesting to me. Those people were there. They lived it. Like, this is like, in my opinion, this is just like the equivalent of just like, if I just like wrote a book and I was like, let me tell you how it was, but like I wasn't there. So it's just like a little like, I don't know, it just doesn't really interest me. I mean, I did kind of buy this just at least like for the pictures and stuff, because it's like, it's just like a cool like referencey kind of thing I could have. But again, it's just like, am I gonna read this? Am I gonna revisit it? Am I just gonna flip through it once in a while for pictures? Like, you know. And lastly, we've got this big Coen Brothers book. Now, I do like the Coen Brothers, but I don't know. It's just something that could go. Like, am I really gonna like flip through this and read like an article about their movie? Or more than likely, I'm just gonna watch their movies or watch their interviews. Like, I'm not really gonna flip through this book. I mean, maybe, out of all the things here, though, this is probably the one I would keep. Just if I had space, if I didn't need money, if like that would be the one I would keep. But it's not like I'm in like desperate need for it. I really, I'll be fine, getting rid of it. So, oh geez, okay, that's it. We've been recording for over 20 minutes, so that is my little unhaul. I really don't know what to even expect to get from this at Half Price Books. I mean, I last time I was like hoping for like, will I get 85? Will I get 100? And I ended up with 55 for the books and 15 for the movies, like $70 total. It was like a little bit less than what I wanted. So I don't even know what to expect here. Can I get 55 for these? I don't know. I mean, can I get like 40? Can I get 30? You know what, 30 is going to be my guess. If I get like a cool 30 for these, I'll be happy. Just something to like offset like the cost of, possibly getting more of those shelves. I think I'm going to try and get like 4 more of those shelves and seeing just how it goes. So all right, guys, cool. Just got done at Half Price Books. I ended up with $31.04. I forgot if I mentioned earlier Andrew's guess. He guessed $38. I guessed 30. So yesterday and today, I won both guesses. Okay, so we ended up with a cool $100, in total between yesterday and today. So I did have a 10% off coupon, and I was looking at their clearance section of DVDs, and I did find some good stuff. So I paid $11.91 for all these movies. And then we got 6 things here. Awesome. So in no particular order, we got Clerks 2, a nice cool 2-disc set with loaded with over 6 hours of bonus features, and there's like a 90-minute documentary in this thing. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got that, and we got Angel Heart, and I can't remember why. What was it about this that I wanted to watch it? I can't remember. Maybe it's the cast. This was one of the ones that was in my Amazon save for later for like years, and I was like, why was this in there? Did I just want it for the cast? Did I want it for some particular reason? I can't remember, to be honest with you. And this is And Justice for All. This Al Pacino movie is interesting because I think if they took out like 10 minutes, it would be like a really good movie. But I mean, I just really like Al Pacino in this. There's a couple things in the plot I thought kind of didn't make sense, and not even in a fun way, just kind of like in a stupid way. And but like besides those 10 minutes, it's like really, I just really like Al Pacino. Okay, he's just like my favorite actor. All right, but it was $2, couldn't pass it up. It also comes with a director's commentary, so I'll probably end up listening to that commentary. And we got oh my god, one of my favorite movies of all time, Grease. Very excited for this. I love Grease. I haven't seen it in years. It's probably been like 3 or 4 years since I've seen Grease, but I love it. And we got Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Another one I haven't seen in a long time. But when I say a long time, I mean probably like 10 years, 12 years. I can't remember the last time I saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then, finally, we've got The Wedding Crashers. And I don't remember the last time I've seen this movie. I know I have seen it. I'm just like, when was the last time I've seen this? Like 2005? 2008? I don't really remember. So, yeah, that's what we got. We got all these movies for less than $12. I shouldn't be spending money, but I was like, why not? Just a little bit. I had the coupon, okay? Did we want the coupon to expire? So now we're gonna go to Home Depot, and I brought I brought a bookshelf with me. So we are I'm just gonna walk in with it and be like, "Do you guys have these? And if not, can you cut me one?" And yeah, that's I'm gonna see if I could get like four of them. Can I get four of them and then add them to my shelves? All right, guys. So, oh my God, when I went to Home Depot, oh my God, it started so terribly because I had to ask for help like 5 times because I found some bookshelves and they were just a smidge too big. I don't know. Mine are like an odd specification. I was finding like these, like whatever. I forget the exact dimensions, but they were just like a smidge off. And nobody wanted to cut them. Well, first, nobody wanted to come help me. Like, I had to ask for help 5 times. I'm just standing there awkwardly in the aisle. I'm like, can somebody come here, please? Like, I would find an employee. Let me call you somebody. And like 5 times, literally, until somebody came by. Then they were like, no, we can't do that for you. And I was like, okay, what about like wood? Do you guys have like wood you could cut? They're like, yeah, go down to the lumber department. Wait for somebody else. So I went down there and I found this really chill dude named Walter. Okay, so shout out to the homie Walter. So he cut the board for me. And he cut a couple of them, like, just a smidge off by accident. And then he was like, oh, all right, well, now these will just be scrap. You could just have them. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, cool. So then he gave me the scrap. He cut me a couple more. So hell yeah. So now I'm just, like, being very much like, well, did he, like, magically, like, cut them to, like, the size of, like, the other bookshelves that I have? Can I fit even more now on the other bookshelves, like, completely by accident? Will they fit? So now I'm just, like, very excited. So now I'm stopped actually at Barnes & Noble because, to be honest with you guys, I have to pee. And, yeah, I know you're going to be like, why don't you just pee at Home Depot? Well, I mean, I had all this stuff with me and I didn't just want to, like, leave my cart, and I get very irrational. Like, is somebody going to be like, oh, what's this doing here? Let me, like, move it. Like, it's the autism, okay? I'm going to be very quick. I'm not going to buy any Criterions, I promise. I think they're still on sale, I think. But maybe we'll take like a quick look because I do want to just get out of here. But we'll just take a look at the Criterions. I promise I won't buy any. Alright guys, so I know I spent enough money today, but I couldn't help but to stop at the thrift store. And I got a few things for myself and a few for my buddy Andrew. And I unfortunately did not cross off some of just like the easiest movies I should be able to find, like Pretty Women or Bring It On or 10 Things I Hate About You, which are at like the top of my list to find. I just have not found them thrifting. I haven't found them at Disc Replay. Haven't found them for a good price. Those should be layups. I should be finding those all day, but I just haven't. So I think I've sorted these movies. Okay, so I think these ones are. I'll start off with the ones for Andrew. So we're starting off with, I got him the first season of Twin Peaks, and I think there's like to be honest, I'm not really familiar with this release of it, and I think there was like a commentary or something on it that he specifically wanted it for. And then Jennifer 8, which has like a really good cast. It's got John Malkovich is in this, and Uma Thurman's in it, and Andy Garcia. And then this movie Crank. I know nothing about those movies, either one. I don't even think I know anything about the movies that I grabbed. Well, okay, I'm like vaguely I know a little bit about this one, Minority Report, just because it's Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. And I'm just reaching in here. We got the Stepford Wives. I think they've made this movie, like 3 times now? I don't know if this is like the second or third one they made. This one was like less than $1. And let's see. This is the only other thing I got for less than $1. This is The New Guy. And the yellow tags were like 50% off, and this is the only yellow tag that I found. And let's see. Blockbuster exclusive. We got a Vicky Cristina Barcelona. This is a pick from Drew, and I couldn't pass up a Blockbuster exclusive. That's just sick. Let's see, 2 more movies. Marie Antoinette. I know nothing about this movie, but great cast. And the final thing is Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Blu-ray. The only Blu-ray that I found that I wanted, only $2. So sweet. So now that I've spent enough money, we're gonna go home and have the moment of truth with the bookshelves. All right, what's up, guys? Look at that like gnarly effect. If any of you didn't know, because I know I mentioned this a couple times, like my camera has a little like on the screen protector, there's like a little like hairline, little crack like that, and so sometimes it does like a crazy effect with the light. Okay, but I just got home and I'm very tired. I had to make 2 trips to carry all the wood from my car, and then I realized I forgot the actual shelf in my car. So I came in, I put some chicken in the air fryer, and I was like, all right, I'll just like go down and like check real quick. And then I was like, oh my God, I forgot like the actual shelf. So now we are gonna hunt of truth. So here's the shelf, and here is one that is cut to the size. So let's see. Let me try to do this one-handed here. Let's see how it fits. Oh, perfect. It is perfect. Oh, I think I took out one of those like stud peg thingies. I think I put it off by one. I took it with me so I could compare and find one that's like the right size. There we go. I was like, why is it crooked? And then I was like, oh wait, no, I must just put it back wrong. But okay, cool. So, oh yeah. Okay, this is so awesome. Sweet. We are gonna have so much more space, especially because you know what I realized when I was taking some stuff off the shelf, so I could bring it with me. I set these ones here, and wouldn't you know it, this is the one that was formerly empty, that I was like, oh, because it ends with Z there for Zoolander. I was like, okay, that'll be the last one, and then this one will be free, so that way when I add more movies and it needs more space, like I'll have an empty one. This space here is too small for DVDs. It's too small for DVDs. Like I'll show you guys. Like it won't go. So yeah. So now we are going to have much more space. Some of these are like just a tiny bit off, and he gave them to me as scraps. And so I'm gonna test them and see like if any fit in there. If we could maybe put like another one in there. I'm sure that one's like the longest one, so it's not even gonna be close. It's not gonna fit in there. But as long as we get like these two to have more space, and we'll see about this one, because this one, the shelf that I threw out was the same exact one as this, so I put those extra shelves here, and that's what gave us like these little slim sections. So we'll see what we could do about filling that up. But I'm very like tired and out of breath from making all these trips, and I can smell my food from all the way down here, and it smells delicious. I am gonna eat, and then I'll be back down here, and I'll do like a little bit of goofin, a new shelf goofin, and then I'll have an update. All right, I could not be happier with the results so far. So last time I showed you guys the shelves. Let me see if I can even zoom out here. Okay. Z ended all the way up here. And then I was saying this shelf right here would just be like the overflow shelf from when, I watch enough movies and they're going to move over eventually and I'll need a new shelf. Instead of worrying about it later, I'll just leave the next shelf empty. But now that's all moved over. So Z ends here. I was able to add, and it was like very tight. I was able to add 2 shelves to each of these. Only thing is the top right here has this little drop down, and so a DVD will have to like turn it a little slightly, but it's not a big deal. It's very manageable. See, I'm not struggling at all to get it back on the shelf. So that's perfect. It's all perfect. It works so well. So now Z is up to here. I'll zoom out in a second so you guys can see it better. But yeah, here we go, all the way down to here. Boom. And then over here, we've got Z over here. So now that's opened up. So below Z, I will keep that one as the overflow shelf. I don't yet know exactly what I'm putting here, what I'm putting in these open spaces. I told you guys how the dude gave me these extra ones, and I was really hopeful. I was like, will they fit? Will they fit? Will they fit? And it turns out, yes, they do fit. I was able to put one right here. I can't really put another one here because books are varying sizes. It's not as uniform as Blu-rays and DVDs, and so there was like a lot of wiggle room there. There's not really here because like these books need it. These mass market paperbacks do not. And same thing here. Like even if I moved this one up a notch, it's just not really going to open up any room. But over here there was a ton of space, so I was able to move it up. I just had to move those ones to there, but I was able to add this shelf. So in total, that's like 4 shelves there and 1 shelf here, 5 total. That's like an entire bookcase of extra space I was able to add. So I still got to figure out what to do now. I have enough pegs for 1 more of these, and I've got 2 extras. So one of those could probably be put into this one where I'm going to put the rest of the graphic novels. You guys can see down here, there's actually 2 shelves here, like the very base one, and then this was an extra shelf that I didn't have pegs for. So if I get some more pegs, then I could use that one somehow. Like again, it just kind of depends on the comics. I mean, I could I think I could probably like put 1 more shelf here and then move this one up, and it'll probably be like 1 more here. So I'm pretty sure I'll have to get 1 more shelf in general, because I did throw one out. Like I've said a million times now, I did have to throw one out. It was the only casualty of the flooding, because that one got mold on it over the last couple years. And so if I get another shelf that's, you know, this size, then I could probably put on 2 more of those, and we'll have some space. The difficult part in all this is I was never very organized. I was organizing everything by vibes, and I even had like 50 books that were just sitting on my desk. Like I had to throw out my desk too. It was just like old and brittle and falling apart. It didn't have a mold issue. It was just, you know, it was just time. It was just, it was beyond its last legs. It was just dead. And I had like 50 books on top of it that didn't have any shelf space. I just had them there. So, you know, now I have my standing desk, and that's what I've been using. Yeah, it's just tough, because like every time I do the unhauls, I get rid of more stuff I don't want or need, more stuff, and then it's like still not enough space. So I got to figure out how to fit all this in. So at least now we do have some extra space. I think next what I'm going to tackle is, probably because it's simplest and there's so few of them, I'm going to get the rest of the comic books up there. I'm going to get the rest of the comic books here on this shelf, or graphic novels, whatever. And then I guess I will, as best as I can, continue with the book sorting. I might move, if they fit. I'll have to test it out and see how the hardcovers fit. I'll probably, because some of them are just so huge, I will have to test those out and see if I can fit Uncle Stevie over here. These 2 shelves are Stephen King. I'll have to see if I'll fit them over there. For no particular reason. I just think that'd be nice, like Stephen King with the movies. Like, I don't know, it's just a nice combination. So I'm going to test those out, see if those fit over there, and then I'll put the rest of the graphic novels up. And then I'm just going to continue sorting these as best I can. What did we get up to? Like G, I think? H, maybe? Yeah, H, because I see Brave New World, but Aldous Huxley there. So, yeah, we got through H. I got through H by author, last name, up on the shelves. So this is the rest for fiction. And yeah, and then here's all the nonfiction. I just gotta figure out how to do this. So I'm gonna be working on this. I'm having fun with this. I can't wait for it just to be finished. But I'm having a good time. Everything's gonna look nice and beautiful. And you know, it did rain last night and this morning, and just not a single drop. This is where it was coming in from. Not a single drop of water. And this morning, when I left for the gym, I saw it rained last night. And then when I got to my car, it started raining. And the whole time at the gym, I was just thinking, oh my God, like either I'm going to go home. And like, I mean, it had already rained since we fixed it and there wasn't a drop. But I was like, either I'm going to go home and everything's going to be fine, or I'm going to go home and all my books are ruined. And then I was just like, actually, I'd kind of be fine with it though if everything was ruined, because then it would open up space. I was like, I only need authors A through H anyways. So, yeah, guys, all right. I'm gonna tentatively call this the end of the video. And maybe if there's anything else worth showing or saying after I put a little bit more on the shelves, maybe I'll come back. But if I don't come back, thank you for watching. Update. All right, I just wanted to show you guys that now I have all the graphic novels put up and the photography books. So this shelf is pretty much done. I mean, I could like insert like a little shelf here, but like there's nothing really that, I don't know like what all I would exactly put there in like the middle of the graphic novel and photography bookshelf. But that one's pretty much all done. So yeah, guys, I will be probably tomorrow. I will do more. I'm stepping on that. I'll do more sorting and organizing and seeing like if the Stephen King books fit there. I'll just move them there. I'll leave that shelf open for now, and then I'll just pack on as many of the fiction books as I can onto the shelves. I'll move these up to there and so on. You guys get the idea. So okay, end credits scene done. Thank you for watching.